Hi guys, welcome back to Nebula Focus Toy Reviews. Today I am super excited because we are taking a look at this beautiful figure. This is the Figma Rengoku from Demon Slayer. Now I only just got this yesterday as of filming this, so 2 days ago as of uploading this video. And the figure is just beautiful. I'm just going to put him to the side for a minute because we need to take a look at this box because the box is also beautiful. So, as you can see, it is just like a plain black background and we've got Max Factory, Figma and the Demon Slayer logos all up here. And then down here we have the name, Kyojuro Rengoku, and a nice gold banner. I have no idea what that bit means. Maybe 15 accessories because this figure did come with a lot of accessories. And we have a nice view of the figure as well. A damn nice look at it. On this side, it's very plain. We've just got Max Factory, we've got Demon Slayer and Rengoku, and we have Figma. On the back, on the top, we just have, Figma action figure series. On the bottom, just a barcode. On this side, we have the actual box that the figure was in, because this black bit is just a sleeve, and we can see a nice picture of Rengoku. And on the back, we have all of the words. They're actually putting stuff in English, so that's good. Normally, with Figmas in the past, it's only just been Japanese on the box, so it's quite good that they're putting English on there as well now. But that's basically your warning. And then we have all of these really nice promo shots of the figure. So we have some with basic backgrounds. This is basically all the accessories. And then there's just some poses. And here we have some action poses with the other Figma, which is Akaza, who I did also pre-order the Akaza Figma, but he hasn't arrived yet. I haven't even got a payment request for him, so he's going to come a little bit later. But we've got some really nice action shots of the Rengoku Figma here. I did pre-order this off Ami, I'm not entirely sure how you actually say it, but I pre-ordered it off there. I did DHL delivery. I selected DHL for the delivery option, and it arrived within 4 days of it actually being shipped. So yay. So I've taken the sleeve off, and then this is the actual box that the figure is in. So we have this nice big window, which is where you can see the figure, some of the accessories and everything. And then we've got a nice picture of him, and we've got Rengoku, Demon Slayer logo, and all that kind of shit. This is the side you could see from inside the sleeve. And this is the other side, just more Rengoku. On the top, more Rengoku. I do like the flames they've sort of put in the background, because obviously, Rengoku is the flame hasher. Exactly the same on the bottom. And on the back we have more promotional shots, but these are all the nice background so you can clearly see it. So we have, obviously you can see, fire accessory pieces, lots of hands, a sword, and some extra arms and faces. And obviously the bento box Rengoku's got to have his food. So, yeah, enough about the box. Let's put the box to the side. I am not throwing this box because this is a damn nice box. Plus, it's an anime figure, so I keep the boxes anyway. But here is the man himself. And, like I said, this figure is gorgeous. And also, I apologize if my voice doesn't sound quite right, or if I'm coughing a lot. I currently have a sore throat, which is why I haven't done a fursuit introduction to this video, because normally I would have done. So, for the sake of getting a closer look at him, I'm going to take the sword off his belt. We'll get a closer look at the sword first. So this is just the sword in the scabbard. You do get a sword out of the scabbard as well, but for some reason you can take this bit off. I guess it's so it can make it a bit easier to get to this bit when you're putting it on. Yeah, so this is the scabbard or the sheath for the sword. Very nice detail and very nice paint job on it. And there isn't really a lot to say about it. Obviously, we've got the nicely painted the guard of the sword, which is the flame. So yeah. And then the hilt, or the handle, whatever you want to call it, is also painted really nicely. Also, apologies for the gross looking hands. X for flare up. And here is the figure. You can see there's the peg on his waist, on his belt, which is where the sword plugs into. So obviously the idea is even when he's holding the sword in his hand. Oh, that'd be why. I'm stupid. Yeah, because obviously when he's got the sword in his hand, you need to take that bit out, because otherwise he's going to have two swords. So yeah. So here is a close look at the face. The face is really nice. His cape can come off. So we're going to do the closer look with his cape on. And then I'm going to do the articulation with his cape off, because the cape can hinder the articulation in some way. So he's got very nice face sculpt. The eyes are particularly well done. He does come with alternate eyes, so you can swap the eyes out. Because these are the ones that look dead forward, and then you've got eyes that look to the left and eyes that look to the right, so they're pretty good. The hair is done really nice. I do really like that. It is quite sharp and spiky. Figma figures are not made for children. These are definitely not kids' toys. These are more adult. These are adult collectibles. So because there's lots of little pieces that a child would either lose or eat, and obviously it's very he's sharp and pointy. So then we got his uniform, which is done in like a really deep brown color. I believe I read somewhere he's the only member of the Demon Slayer Corps that actually has a brown uniform. Everyone else has black. So he's the only one that wears brown. So the buttons done really nicely. I've just realised that he's not lined up properly. There we go. His buttons should be lined up a bit better now. Oh, not really. Then we've got the nice belt. Belt's done really nicely. The hands are sculpted. These are pretty much the standard Figma hands of the fists. He does have more Rengoku specific hands in his accessory bundle. So then we've gone down to the nice poofy trousers. I have a cosplay of Rengoku, and my god, the trousers of the Demon Slayer uniform are super comfy, but damn does it get hot in them. And then we have his leg covers, which I'm not 100% sure what all the official terms in Japanese are for these pieces. So I'm just going to be like shirt, trousers, leg covers. Yeah. And then we have his feet with his little sandals. And then the underside of his shoes have the nice detailing on them. As you can see, there's no peg holes for a stand. That's because the stand goes in Rengoku's back. Yep. On Figmas, the base always goes into the back. So then you can get them up into doing some aerial poses. As you can see, the cape is done really nicely as well. So, yeah. For articulation, because the cape is also articulated, you do have some hinges on the different parts of the cape. So you can sort of have the cape flaring out a bit. This top bit is made of a softer plastic, so it can bend out of the way a little bit. And, well, that's all the articulation on the cape. So I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take the cape off. And that you've got a peg here. And that just pegs into the back of the figure. Alternatively, you can pose him without the cape on anyway, and then so the base will just peg into his back. But here's a look at the inside of the cape. So it's still got the flame details, but it just doesn't have the orange and yellow layer. And there you can see the Figma hinges that they use, which are, very nicely nice hinges. So I'll just put the cape there. And here he is. And as we can see, now we get a better look at the back of the figure. So we've got the belt coming round, and then the writing on the back of the jacket or shirt. Is it a shirt or a jacket? I think it's more meant to be a shirt. I believe it says destroy on them. The only problem with the back of the figure is the knees are a little bit ugly. Now this, as you can see, they have double jointed knees, which for Figma, at least out of all the Figmas I've got, this is my first time of having a Figma with double jointed knees, which is really good, because it means you can do like stuff and it actually covers it up, which is probably why they've done double jointed knees, just so they can put that extra bit of material in the knees, so when he does bend his leg, it doesn't look too, stupid. It just looks stupid from the back, unfortunately. So anyway, for articulation, his ponytail is on a hinge. Yes, I'm starting with the ponytail. That is on a hinge, and you can rotate it. These lower bits of hair, these two bits, are also on little hinges. This is just so he can still look up a little bit, and obviously the hair will move out of the way. So yeah, the head is on a Figma hinge, so he can look up and down. So he can look up that far. This is without the cape. Obviously, with the cape, it's a bit more limited. So this is all the articulation without the cape. He can look up that far. He can look down that far. And obviously you can rotate the head as well to make him look around. You can't really do it. You can't do any side-to-side movement because obviously the hinge is on and up and down. He does also have a hinge at the neck, so which means you can make him look even further down. He can't look any further up, but he can look further down. The arms can go all the way out, so he can T-pose. And you might think the shoulders look a little bit odd. And you would be right, they do look a bit odd. That's because when you bring the arms forward, so as if he's swinging his sword forward, you got some little extra pieces to cover the shoulder. So there's not like a big garish gap. Well, than that, the arms can do a full 360, obviously, because they are on swivels as well. The elbows have that much bend in them, which I think is pretty good for a single jointed elbow. Also, that can act as a swivel as well. That's on both arms. The wrists are on peg hinges, so you can obviously do that, and then depending on the orientation of the hand, depends on how you move the hand. And like I said, you can rotate them as well. There are some joints in the waist, so he does have a bit of an ab crunch and a bit of an arcing back and a little bit of side to side. But these are more for like waist swivels and stuff like that. Excuse me. The legs, alright, let me just move his arms out the way. The legs, he can do, he has a very nice spread. Not the perfect, he can't do perfect splits, but oh well. The legs can move forward that far. They can move backwards that far, which is pretty good. I'm just going to move that arm out of the way because it's casting shadows and everything. So yeah, so he can move his legs back that way. He can do a little tiny bit of a swivel, but not much. Double jointed knees, so as you saw, he can, kick quite far back. Nothing at the foot. Oh, there is a little bit of there is a swivel at the calf swivel for some reason. The foot can be extended that far back and that far forward. Both positions look a little uncomfortable. Obviously, they can also be rotated. And he does have a slight ankle pivot, mostly in the hinge as well. But yeah, you can sort of move the feet around, so he has a bit of an ankle tilt. And as with Figma figures, he also has the toe bend, which works the best on this foot, doesn't work the best on this foot. But you do want to be careful when you use the toe bend because it might rub the paint off the straps. So yeah. When you shake him, it does feel a little bit loose, but he's not gonna do anything. I don't think he's gonna start falling apart on you. So that is the basic figure. So let's get the accessories out, shall we? So he has 2 stands. He has a bunch of fire effect pieces. And he has a little bag with the smaller accessories in it. So let's have a look at the stands first. So this is the stand. This is a brand new stand to me. It's been a good few years since I bought my last Figma. And my previous Figma just came with a base like this. This is the standard Figma base. And then you've got the arm, which has 3 hinges on it. You've got a hinge here, here, and here. And then this one is actually more for the accessory piece. This is the base for the figure itself. But I have a feeling when he's on the shelf, I'm probably just going to use this one because it takes up less space. So yeah, this is the base for the figure itself. So you've got places to plug in a few different accessories and also different places to plug the stand in. I've plugged it in at the back because then it says Figma at the front. And then, like I said, the base just plugs into his back. There you go. So the base just plugs into his back, and now you can sort of pose him doing things in the air. We have these flame pieces. So this is obviously from what's his circle attack? Rising Scorching Sun. So this is for that move. So it's like this, the arc of fire. Once again, really nicely painted in a bit of a translucent plastic, as you can see, which is really nice. You have these smaller flame pieces that just go on the ground. They don't peg into anything. They just sort of plonk. So, yeah, so these are nice flame effect pieces. And then you've got this bit that goes around the sword. I was a little bit nervous the first time I put this on the sword because, you know, paint rub. But it doesn't have that strong of a grip on the sword, so I don't think you need to worry. Now, for the rest of the accessories, this is where the video will get fun. So he comes with instructions on how to use the pieces. One side is in Japanese, the other side is in English, which is good. Because like I said before, previously, they were only ever in Japanese. Because probably didn't think English-speaking people would buy these figures. Every Figma comes with a little bag that says Figma on it. And then you've got this bit of a gap where you can, you know, write the name of the figure on it. And this is just a bag for all of the pieces. So, something that every Figma figure comes with is an extra joint in case one pops out or you lose it. So I am actually going to just put that one straight back in the bag so I don't lose it. They also come with these little extender pieces for the stands. So if you don't want the basic stand where it's like this, where it's straight, you can just pop this on. And it'll give the arm a bit more of an angled reach. So once again, I'm going to just put that straight back in there. We have the bandmate, excuse me. We have a loose guard for the sword. I do, because obviously in the anime, if you've seen it, when Rengoku dies, Tanjiro is given this. Senjuro gives this to Tanjiro. So I think this is more meant to be an accessory for the Tanjiro Figma, which I don't have. Rengoku is the only Demon Slayer Figma I have at the moment. So yeah, so I think this is more meant to be an extra accessory for Tanjiro. So once again, that is just going in the bag. We have the sword unsheathed, which is painted really nicely. So we have the writing there, which if I remember rightly, it says Destroyer of Demons, I think. The hilt and the guard are obviously painted exactly the same, but you've got really nice detailing on the sword. The red is actually like a shiny metallic paint. The black is just black, but the red is shiny. The point of it is very sharp. So once again, another reason for this to not go to kids. It is a sharp sword. The blade is fine, but the point is definitely sharp. So I need to keep that out. He has folded arms, which is nice. He has a hand tree, so it says Figma on it. And then you've got all these bits for the hands. These are for the fists that he has on at the moment. For the other hands, we do have a clawed hand, so we have a rar hand. We have two clawed hands, should I say? So we've got the clawed hands. We have holding hands, grabby hands. So we have grabby hands, which I'm not entirely sure what these hands are for. These ones might be for the sword, but I'm not entirely sure, because if you look here on the tree, we have more grabby hands, but these grabby hands have a bigger hole. So this one seems more likely for the sword. Let's have a look-see. Is this more the hand for the sword? No? Okay, maybe not. So is this the hand for the sword? Nope. Which is the sword hand? I'd picture this one because it's got the hole's a bit bigger. Oh, there we go. So yeah, the bigger hole hand is the sword holding hand. So you've got one of each hand, depending on how you want him holding the sword. We've got relaxed hands and we've got splayed hands. So I'm not entirely sure what these grabby hands are for, the smaller holds. We have the food hands. So we've got hands with chopsticks moulded in, which is done really nicely. And then we have this hand, and we also have a bento box, which is really nicely done. And I believe the bento box just pops in his hand, like so. Like that. So you can hold and eat. Because this hand does have a little bit of a notch carved into it, which is where the corner of the bento box will sit, so it fits in snugly. We also have extra hands. I mean, not extra hands, extra faces. So we have him happy and talking with his mouth open. And then we have him when he's hurt. This is in his fight against Akaza. And we also have eyes. So the eyes he's got at the moment look straight ahead. This face has eyes that are looking off to the right. And then these eyes are looking off to the left. So you can make him look around, basically. The hurt face obviously only has one eye, so it doesn't have interchangeable eyes. And yeah. So, to swap the faces on Figma figures, you need to pull the front of the hair off. And then as long as you can get nails behind the ears or something, you get something behind the ears, you can, excuse me, you can just sort of pry the face off. I did this yesterday, so technically his face should be a bit easier to pull off. There we go. So we pulled the face off. As you can see behind, you've got the eyes. So to get the eyes out, I use the chopstick hands. Oops. just sort of push on the eyes. Very gently to push on them. And then there we go. So now we've got a face without the eyes. And then I'm going to put the looking off to the left eyes in. And there we go. He is looking slightly to the left. I'm going to poke them back out and put the straightforward eyes back in. I would not recommend doing that all the time every time you want to swap the eyes, because you will probably start chipping the paint on the eyes. Which face do we put on him? Because he now looks like Nightmare Fuel. It looks like an animatronic. You know what? I'm going to be a dick. Let's put his hurt face on. His hurting face. His pain face. And then we just pop the hair back on. There we go. So now he's angry. He wants to kill Akaza. Unfortunately, that does not happen. Right. For swapping the hands out, that is very simple. You just pop up. You just pop it off the peg. And then you just put the new hand on. We'll do this hand. No, that's not the hand. This hand. This is the sword holding hand. So we put that on. So yeah, the hand just has a little hole in there. You can't really see it. And then that just pops on there like so. So then the hand has the same articulation. And then we can give him the sword. There we go. And now he can hold his sword, which is cool. He needs to hold that a little bit further down. There we go. Now he's holding his sword properly. So, yeah. We have this flame effect piece. So, Rengoku, I need the sword again. Sorry. Give me that. So, the flame effect piece for the sword. So the sword goes in at an angle. I can't actually remember how it went. There we go. So it goes like that. I believe you can also, should also be able to do it the other way. So it's like this way. Yeah, there we go. It's a bit of a tighter fit that way, so we'll do it that way. There we go. So this is the sword with the flame effect piece on. Like I said, I would probably recommend to not do this a lot, because once again, you'll probably have a bit of paint rub on the sword. So I probably won't be using this piece. But, yeah. To swap the arms out, because, you know, I want to see what it looks like with the folded arms on. So let's just take these bungs out. So you need to pull the arms off. There we go. So you can just pull the arms off with a bit of a wiggle. Now he has stumps. You just need to have the pegs facing down, because obviously he is folding his arms. And then you can just sort of plug them on. Actually, do the instructions say you need the arms facing, like the pegs facing a certain way? Aha. No, not really. Just have them facing outwards, apparently. Outwards and down. Where have the arms gone? Here they are. I'm going to just bring the shoulders out, because that will make the gap a bit smaller. There we go, like so. And then you should just be able to push these arms into the pegs. Why does this arm not want to go in the peg? There we go. Now will this arm behave? I have another Figma that has folded arms like this, and I hate it because they don't want to. There we go. I think that's how it's meant to be. So we have his folded arms, and obviously it's going to look a lot better once we put the cape back on. If we do the cape. I'll go over the shoulder, please. There we go. So yeah, with the cape hiding those very awkward shoulder joints, it definitely looks better. So yeah, I think that's about all I can really say about him. And then we'll just quickly put him on his base. So the base now plugs into the hole in the back of the cape. And then you just need to position him so he looks like he's standing and not like he's floating. And there we go. Oh no, it's off to the side. There he is. It looks pretty cool. Obviously, if you don't really put him in any exciting pose, he does kind of look like a statue. Which, you know, I kind of like. So, yeah. There isn't really much else I can say about him, apart from the fact that he's awesome. Oh, no, wait, we need to put the sword back on the belt. I need to give him his sword back. So there's a little hole at the top. There we go. Also, the sword, I didn't ever realise, the sword is on a little bit of a hinge as well. So you can move it around a little bit. And then just clip that in as well. And there we go. Now he's complete. He's still in pain, but he's holding it together. He's holding it together. So yeah, he is a very awesome figure, and I can't wait to do a little bit of toy photography with him because he is that cool. I also can't wait for Akaza to get here so I can pose them together. So I can pose them fighting together. And maybe other things. But anyway, that is that. That was my review of the Figma Rengoku from Demon Slayer. Let me just push the accessories back so they're in shot. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And I shall see you all in the next video, whatever that'll be. Bye!